So we'll start today's briefing session. My name is Anurag. I'm the Senior Client Success and Learning Manager at BMN Capital. We start the day. We have seen that gold and silver are at all-time high. The levels which we have predicted, the market have reacted the same way. So try to understand that what next we can expect in the gold and silver and how the other asset classes are performing. So just bear with me for a second, and I hope my voice and my visuals are very clear. So starting our day, so in the early morning, we have the API crude oil stock exchange, which we have seen in negative, and as a result, crude oil prices are trading above the 62 mark. Then comes to the Bank of Japan monetary policy meeting minutes. So we have seen the JPY pairs also getting quite weaker. So other currencies as compared to JPY are at all-time high, but this is not that event which is impacting right now. For the Australian dollars, all Australian dollars are heading upwards, right? So if you have a look on the inflation rate, it is at 1%. Previously, it was 0%, but still it is below 2% target. So it's a good sign. And if I talk about year-on-year basis rate, so it is 3.8%. So these are the data which have been released. And we have seen a very good strength in the Australian pairs as compared to other currencies. Then comes to the 40-year Japanese government bond auction. So we have seen 20, approximately 20 or maybe 15 pips of 15 basis points of rise we have seen. Moving ahead, so we have the ECB Elderson speech. So this will have an impact on the euro, although India is playing a very important role because all the European Union have a very great deals with the India, right, which will have a positive impact. And we have seen that euro pairs are performing very good, especially the euro USD. The reason is the that deal which they have signed with the India. If I talk about the US session, so in the US session, we have the Bank of Canada interest rate decision rates. This is a very important data which we have to see. Although the consensus is for 2.25%, so if this is the case, that means the actual figure are same as the expectation. So they will not a surprise into the market, and we'll see that we will not see any good movement in prices. But yes, if there is a surprise, if they increase the interest rate, although the chances are very less, in that case, we'll see USD CAD pair will test the below support levels. Moving ahead, so into the core US session, we have the crude oil data, right? So we need to see this, although the crude oil is heading upwards and all the geopolitical events are also supporting this thing, right? So just a minute, I think. And in the last, we have the 17-week bill auction and 2-year FRN auction, right? And in the last, we have the ECB Shanable speech that will have an impact. And the most important data for today, which is going to be released at 11, which is the Fed interest rate decision. Right now, it is at 3.75%, right? So we need to see. So for this, just after this, we are going to the CME Fed Watch tool, and let's have a look at how the market have positioned itself on the basis of this data release. Just give me a minute. So Just give me a minute. Let me open it. Yes. I think my screen is visible, right? And this is the CME Fed Watch tool. This is a very good tool. Everybody should use it to know the sentiment of the market, especially in case of interest rate decisions, right? Interest rates itself is a derivative. It's a kind of financial instrument which is being trading on the exchanges. And by looking at the positions of the trader, we'll have an idea that what uh, most of the informed traders and the institutions are doing, right? How they have created. So over here, previously, it was 94 and 95%, right? In our previous session, we have discussed, right? And I'm talking about the current meeting, which is going to be held today. So 97.2%, that is a very high probability that interest rate is going to be between 3.50 and 3.75 basis points. So chances of a rate cut is very, very negligible, right? Only 2.8% people think that uh, there will be a 25 basis point of rate cut, right? Or more than that. So yes, high probability that there will be no interest rate cut. Let's have a look for the month of March also, because in Feb we don't have any FMC meeting for the rate cut. But for the 18th March again, 84.2% is the probability that interest rate uh, would be going to be between 3.50 and 3.75. 15.5% people have position, right? They have taken the contracts that there will be an interest rate cut. So from now onwards, from the today's date, we need to watch this too, right? If the sentiments are shifting toward this thing, so we know that how the market is going to surprise. If we see a very strong build up over here, right, at the 325 to 350 basis point of rate cut, so in that case, that market, whatever price movement you're seeing, that market have already discounted it. And if there is a surprise, right? So right now there is no interest rate cut, but in future, especially into the month of March, if there is interest rate cut, people have already adjusted their portfolio by creating their position into this financial market, right? Apart from this, this is a very good website. Also, you'll find lot of tools, right? Especially the bonds and the treasury data, right? You'll see all this data from this website, right? So that's all from my side. So we don't have that much event, right? Apart from this, a lot of things are happening. If I talk about like the EU deal, right, that will have an impact, right? It's almost 3 to 400 billions of deal is going to happen, and that will have a positive impact on the Indian economy as well as on the European economy also, right? And because of this relation between the India and the European Union, the tensions between the Russia and the Eurozone is also going to get settled, right? So India will act as a mediator between all this thing, and now we can think that yes, the Ukraine issue can cool down, right? High probability. And whatever goods which US don't buy from India directly because of the tariffs and all. So we sell it to Europe and Europe will send that good to the US, right? So this will be the case for the future if this deals happen without any government change in India, especially. Now let's come on to our technical part. So for that, I'll share you my screen, and on my screen we'll discuss that how the market have reacted. So I hope everybody is having access to my screen, right? Just give me a minute. Okay. So first, let's have a look on the gold chart, right? So this is gold, right? It is heading upwards. It is a H1 chart, right? And it is telling me that yes, 5250 is a very important resistance area which have been broken, right? So if prices taken a correction, the highest correction it can take up to the level of 5250. right? And now the high probability that then if gold continues to move upwards, so for a very longer period of time, I am giving you the prediction that gold is going to the level of $10,000 an ounce, right? I repeat, $10,000 an ounce, right? But yes, before that, we have lot of hurdles also and lot of developments also, right? And it's a very long-term projection I'm giving you. So the next all-time high will be at around 6625 to 6627 level, right? So yes, gold is going to continue upwards, right? So this is on to into the H1 time frame, right? We have seen a very good surge in the prices for the upside, and every candle is renewing itself. We have seen a weakness at this level, right? At this level, which is at 5238, just before the 5250 level, which is a very strong resistance area. But prices have surpassed it, and again they have renewed the candle. But the size of the candle is telling us that yes, there might be possibility that it might take a correction towards the downside. So we need to wait. So right now it is not the good time to take the buy, right? Wait for the correction. When the correction is done, you can hold your calls, right? You can hold your positions up to the level of 5381, right? That will be the next important resistance area. So if you find gold prices below and again they're getting this strength, it's a very good time to create a buy and holding that buy till the test of 5381 level. Okay. So this is for gold. Now let's have a look on the silver, right? So silver have made the all-time high and right now it is moving sideways, right? It is not testing the high, right? But yes, the fundamentals are more promising right now because we have seen that there is a supply crunch, right? Supply shortage for silver, right? Shanghai Metal Exchange is the only metal exchange which used to deal in physical gold and silver, right? And they are not taking any new contracts for delivery, right? Because they don't have any silver into their world, right? That this is one thing. And if we see the price symmetry on a daily time frame, right? So let me remove the old drawings, right? So this is the big candle which we have seen. This is Monday, Tuesday, and today is Wednesday. So we have seen that a lot of people have booked the profit, and that is the reason we have seen the exhaustion in the candle. But my RSI is telling me that no, this is not the time for a reversal in silver. Okay, and 6250 is a very sorry, 115.79 is a very important area, right? But yes, by looking at today's candle, if the high of this candle is broken, right? Then after that, I can expect that there might be any correction, but till the time I'm not in favor of a correction towards the downside, right? And I am not seeing any weakness. If you see the RSI also, so right now prices are in a current uptrend, right? And if you see RSI is holding its ground above the 1780 levels, right? And for the whole trend, if I see the trend have been started from this area, this is on a daily time frame. And from this point, RSI have been successfully keeping their grounds, right, holding their grounds above the 70 level, right? They have taken a short corrections, right, to this area. And when the market is in a uptrend, and if you are using RSI of any period, let it be 5, 7, 8, 12, right? 50 area is going to act as a strong oversold area, right? If it is a downtrend, then 50 area will act as a oversold area, right? This is totally based on my observation, right? You can apply this thing on any asset class, on any time frame or any chart. If the trend is very strong, 50 area will act. Don't wait for the prices to give you their readings below the 30 levels. No, this is not going to happen if the trend is very strong, right? And if you see the corrections also, so only 3, 4 candles, right, are taking the corrections. And when we see the reversal, when we have very big candles and consecutive candles which are renewing their low, if this kind of formation we see in silver, then we change our biasness toward the sell side and instead of taking the buy. we try to create sell positions, right? But yes, if you're holding, if you have identified silver at a very below levels, right, and if you have created into your portfolio, you should hold your positions, right? And whenever you find weakness, right, first time by looking at the chart at any point of time, if you have any kind of fear, right, into your heart that yes, the trend is getting weaker, create a short without booking the profit of buy, right? And this way you can lock your profits, right? Which is very important. So this is for the silver. So both the markets are very promising, right? Because gold is trading at a all-time high, right? And there is a concept of gold and silver ratio also. To maintain that ratio, silver is not going to take the corrections, right? High probability that I've been through a lot of researches and I've seen a lot of videos of very smart people, right? Like Ray Dalio, we have the hedge fund managers on, they all have predicted that high probability silver is going to test the 200 levels. 200, right? And right now it is sustaining its ground above the 114, 115, right? So from here, the immediate resistance would be at 115.79. If it surpasses it, then for me, 125 will be the next psychological mark, right? So we can expect prices to go up to that level, right? And in the month of Feb also, we don't have that much data, right? Important data, yes, but March is very important because that is the last quarter. We are going to see that how the different businesses have performed in the last quarters. And if there is any kind of surprise, then again we see a sharp rally, right? And just after a few months, so maybe in month of May and June, we might see that gold and silver may take a corrections. But just after this thing happens, right, then we have a festive season, especially in the world's biggest consumer of gold, that is China and India, right? So marriage is going to start, and then we have the monsoon also, and monsoon will have a very important impact on this. For the monsoon report and how the stock market and other asset classes are going to perform if the monsoon is very good, for that we need to see the Skynet reports, right? Skynet publishes its reports through by taking the data from the satellite, and how the monsoon is going to perform. So we need to see that, yes, but if the economic situations are getting very good, right, in that case only we'll see that kind of corrections. Otherwise, I'm very strongly bullish for gold and silver. And same is the case with copper. Now come to the US oil, right? So this is our third asset class. So US oil have tested the 62 uh, 76 levels, right? And from there we can see the size of the candle is also strong. We have seen a very strong reversal candle on a H1, right? Which is a bearish engulfing, and this candle is very strong. So for the next 3 hours, that means the next three candles for the oil, high probability that it is going to trade sideways, right? After the three candle, whatever is the range of that three candle, the breakout of that the breakout of that range will be a trade, right? Either for the downside, either for the buy side, right? And if we see our RSI also, so this is the high point and next is the higher high over here. But in the RSI, we can see the divergence, right? But that divergence is not having a very sharp peaks, right? It is quite kind of flat. And whenever we find this kind of divergence, it not going to work very well. So high probability that in the next 3 hours, right? In the next three candles, prices test this level, then again went up, and from there again they get reversed for the upside, right? And after 3 hours of the range, right, and maybe high probability that before, if prices really wants to go up, before that prices will come down, right? Change your biasness toward the sell side, and then whosoever have taken the sell call, they have put their stop losses, and sudden spike we'll see from the prices, right? The second reason why I'm saying that, if you see the elevator indicator, which is nothing, which is three moving averages, right? which is being shifted by the Fibonacci number. That means 3, 5, and 8, right? So there is a very huge difference between this area, right? Whenever we have this kind of differences, very huge differences, and all three are pointing upwards, right? So from here, there is no chance of reversal, right? Whatever price movement you are seeing for the downside, it is happening to give you a very good price to take a buy, not a sell. So high probability, this will be my projection that prices may test this area, and from here again they have a sharp surge in the prices for the upside, right? So for a very disciplined trader, what you should do, instead of taking a sell call, go with the trend, and trend is telling you, and apart from this, all the fundamentals are also telling you that the trend is bullish. Wait for the prices to come down, give you a discounted price. Try to create your positions, right? And how to create your position? See, whenever any kind of reversal happens, first you see a sideways movement with very small candles, right? Then you have an exhaustion. That means why exhaustions are important? Because exhaustions are the only footprints which will give you the insight that yes, the buyers are now active and they have pushed the prices upwards. That means whatever is the supply coming, they have absorbed all the supply, and the demand is so more that they are ready to pay the premium. That is the reason we have seen this kind of exhaustion. Every time whenever there is a very good reversal, you will see pin bar setups here, right? You can call pin bar, you can call it the morning star, evening star, whatever you want to say, right? So I want this kind of formation over here. Once I find this, it will be a confirmation and I'll take a buy call, right? Those who are fan of SMC, so over here we have a fair value gap. So let me readjust this, that the probability of a correction up to this level is quite high, right? And apart from this, we have the last selling candle also at the same level, this red candle, right? We are seeing it on a H1 chart. If I go to the 5 minute or 15 minute, this is a very good setup, right? We'll find a very good order block, very good fair value gap. So let it happen. When this is happened, then take a buy call, right? But yes, what will be the alternative scenario? That before giving us a downside correction, if prices do this, that instead of going downwards into the very next candle, we'll see price taking a high. So in that case, the probability is very high, because what happens in RSI have taken a high from here, right? Instead of going above the high of this candle, but prices went above the high of this candle in this correction, right? If this happens, then the divergence is very perfect. In that case, we'll see a very sharp fall into the prices, and that fall can bring the prices from the 62 level to the 60 level, right? Almost 200 points, 200 pips of movement we can cash today if this kind of setup happens. So this will be my alternative scenario, right? So we need to wait and watch, and high probability that before the US session starts, we'll see that. Now let's have a look on the Dow Jones, right? So in our BMN broker, we have a ticker with the WS30, that is the Wall Street 30, right? So this is the high they have made. So let's have a look on a daily time frame, right? So we have seen rounding top formations over here, and this is an indication. We have seen a lot of arrows. Why these arrows are happening over at this area, right? And this is the area just near the 50,000 mark, which is a very strong psychological level, right? So I've seen a high above the 49575 level, right? One time, two time, three time, four time, five, six, right? Six time prices try to go above, and then again we have seen the profit booking, right? Prices are not going down either, right? But they are facing lot of difficulty in going upwards, right? And we are right now in the last quarter also, right? So the last quarter result will decide that whether we'll have a new all-time high in US 30, which is above the 50,000 mark. And if this is not the case, if company is not performing, all the companies are not performing that good, and the economic conditions are not that great, then we can see a sharp fall into the prices, right? So still I'm waiting for the prices towards the downside because I've seen a lot of weakness, right? But yes, there is one rule that the more the resistance or support area being tested, the weaker it becomes, right? So it have been tested a lot of time. So if we see a very sudden spike into the prices, high probability that this area will get clear, right? I'm talking on a daily time frame, right? So this is the last point. Prices went up, then again went down, right? We have a gap down opening, but again the prices went up, right? We have the two strong candle for the upside. In the very next candle, the low have been taken, right? High probability if this low is been broken, that is the time majority of people have a shift towards the buy side, towards the sell side, right? Their biasness is going to change, so we'll wait for the prices. If we have a look on our alligator indicator also, so they are right now merging, which is an indication of a sideways movement. And at the top, when sideways movement is happening, it is a sign that there might be a reversal or a continuation into a prices. And for the US 30, chances of a correction is quite high, right? Now let's try to identify any short-term opportunities for the intraday purpose, right? So Asian session is not the right session to trade US 30, right? If we have a look, whatever information I'm getting on the chart, let me develop my biasness just by studying the charts, right? So this dotted line represent the start of the day, which is the Tokyo session or the Asian session, right? In every Asian session, we have a sideways movement. See, sideways movement. And today also, see sideways movement. Then again, we have the sideways movement. From this candle, right? When I mark any candle, try to observe the volume patterns also, right? And over here, these are the tick volume, right? Not the exact volume. Tick volume are the synthetic volume that they will tell us that when the market activity is happening very at a very higher level, right? So you can see that at 8, right? Over here also we have a breakout at 8 and 9, right? At over here also we have 8 and 9, right? Over here also at 8 and 9 we have seen that prices fell down and then again. So yes, for this market, Asian session range will act as a very important pivotal area to take your decisions, right? So what I'll do, how I'll use, I'll take the session high and session low of the Asian session or the Tokyo session. That means the first 8 candles of the day. And if I see any candle which gives me a close, right, below or above the range with a very spiking volume, that means green volume, right? It is a time that I should take a buy call, just keeping my stop losses above the high of that candle, right? So, for example, if I take the example of the previous day, right? So, this is the first candle and this is the eighth candle, right? So, I'll take the low and high of this candle like this, okay? And in this candle, I've seen the close, right? So this candle have given the close and the volume is also spiking, right? As compared to the previous candle, right? And any volume which is higher than the previous 3 candles volume, observe it, right? Those who have notepads, note it down. It's my observation. If you find any candle's volume higher than the previous 3 candles volume, that candle will act as a very strong footprint candle, right? If prices went below that level, they are going to sustain below that candle only, right? If it is above, then prices will keep their grounds above that candle. So for our case, this is the candle with high volume. I have taken sell call. If I missed it also, prices went down, again went up. See in this candle, and again I've seen the extension. So it means that this candle, the sellers at this candles are very strong. That means to change my biasness towards the buy side, right? I need a breakout of this candle. So by taking the previous day's footprint candle, this is my candle, right? Now I'm waiting for today's, right? So let's have a look. So over here, the RSI have given us a divergence, right? So we have the low and a higher low formations. Over here, we have the lower low formations, right? So we have seen that there is an sudden push into the prices towards the upside, but the size of the candles are very small. That means buyers are not that strong, right? That is the reason almost 8 to 9 hours of market activity, but prices haven't pushed the prices above the high of this candle, which is the pivotal area between our divergence. That is this area, right? That means buyers are not having that much strength. Second point, which is telling me that this divergence is not going to work, is that if you see our alligator indicator, so see they are right now having a very good differences between them. So this area will act as a strong resistance zone, right? So and we have seen that prices have made very small candles, so the market activity is very less. But yes, if this happens that prices gives me a close above the high of this candle, high probability that it is going to break this level, right? So this is right now seventh candle. In the next 2 hours, 8 and 9 will be complete. You have your range, mark your range, right? If you find that range breakout toward the downside, don't think of taking a buy call, take sell call, and keep your stop losses above the high of this candle if you're very conservative, right? And if you're very aggressive, so whatever candle you form, which give you a close, right, of the range, right? The candle which is breaking the range, you can take it. So the probability is quite high because we have seen into the H1 chart. So prices might see the RSI is being pointing downwards, right? So if this candle is getting a reverse, right, high probability those who have taken or a lot of people have designed their bots on the basis of divergence, right? So if their bots or the people who are taking the divergence, right, trades, they have kept their stop losses below the low of this candle, right? So the probability is very high that in the upcoming next candles they will hunt these stop losses which are resting below the low of this candle, and we have a divergence, right? That prices will come down, right? But don't go below the low of this candle. And from here again we have seen a spike into the prices for the upside. If this happens, then I can take a buy call, right? But till the time things are not looking that promising, so you need to wait for 2 more hours. Let the Tokyo session range complete, and once it is done, I've given you the criteria to find the trade, right? Now let's move ahead towards the Bitcoin, and after that we'll discuss two currency pairs, right? So I'll open the chat box, and I want you people to ask which specific currency pair you want to discuss, and we'll discuss that. So let's have a look on the BTC. So on a daily time frame, we have marked this area, right? Because many times prices have taken the support from this area. We have drawn this trend line. In our previous sessions, we have given the prediction that this is the trend line liquidity which have been swiped out, right? Right now, it is quite sideways movement, but yes, from here, the possibility of a correction is very high. Why? First, see over here the RSI value, right? So this is the RSI low, and we have the lower low in the prices, but we haven't find any lower low formation into the RSI, which is an indication of a divergence. And in this candle, right, in this candle of the daily, that is the previous candle, both these candles successfully renewed the previous low, right? Which is an indication that yes, it is telling us that if you want, you can take a buy call from the high of previous day high, right? So previous day high is 89489. That means 89490 will be a very good price level to take a buy call, right? You can keep your buy stop loss, right? High probability that prices may test the above levels. Okay, because of the divergence, right? And this divergence is going to perform very good. So this is our view on a daily time frame. Now let's have so if prices get reversal from here for upcoming 5 6 days, we'll see a upward trend. So this is the time that if you have created Bitcoin, you can hold that buy position. And whenever fear come into your heart, by looking into the chart, you can create a sell and lock your losses, profit. Okay, lock your profit. Now let's have a look on a H1 time frame. So over here, lot of congestions, right? Broadening wedge formations we have seen, and after this, still it is into the wedge. Let me draw it. So this is the high point, this is the low point. In the very next swing, the high is also being taken, the low is also being taken, right? So what you need to do, you need to draw your trend lines like this, right? So this is a broadening wedge formations which we have, right? Then we have this high formations over here, right? So mark it like this, right? Now we have a perfect trend line, right? We have not taken this immediate fractal level, we have taken this, and surprisingly this area is being respected, right? So that means I have drawn the upper trend line very correctly. Same is the case that I need to take the this low, right, and see what happens. So this is the case. So right now this is the market structure. See, the prices have been rejected from this area, being respected from this area, and we have get a very impulsive move for the upside. And right now, this is a very strong candle, and for last 7 8 hours, prices are still trading within this range, right? This is a fair value gap, right, which have been mitigated, and right now prices are getting an impulse for the upside, right? Why I'm taking that they are getting the impulse for the upside? See the red candle formations. We have seen exhaustion, 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 exhaustion. That means somebody is taking buy at the low, right? So somebody is absorbing all the supply which is coming, which is an indication that yes, over here we can't see any exhaustion. I'm talking about the green candles, which is an indication that yes, after this correction, right, which is happening right now into the current candle, right, which is going to close after 12 minutes. If prices again continue to go upwards, high probability that it is going to take the liquidity above the high of this area, right? And over here also we have the fair value gap, right? So this would be my target area, right? Like this, right? And if I find prices going above the high of this area, right, which is this, which is 89497, and if I take a buy call, I'm almost getting 600 points of movement for the upside, right? So that will be my analysis for the BTC. Okay. Now, I'm opening the chat box, right? And I want you people to write me any currency pair, or you can unmute yourself also and tell me that which currency pair you want to discuss. So I've been waiting for your response. Okay.
Euro USD, Anurag.
Euro. Okay, I'll take Euro USD. So I'm very promising about Euro USD pairs, right? So this is GBP USD. Let me put Euro USD over here. So this is Euro USD on a H1 time frame, right? First, let's have a primary look. So for that, I've taken the daily time frame. You can see a sudden very strong candle for the upside and see the RSI. RSI is almost near at 94.70 level. So this minute correction is not very promising, right? High probability that it may trade sideways within this range only. But yes, I am bullish, right? When we were discussing Euro USD, so I've drawn this trend line of this price movement, and we have seen a sudden break of this candle. And see, a short profit booking is there into this candle. And same kind of formation we can identify over here, right? So yes, wait for the prices, and if you find a reversal, it is a good sign. You can take buy calls, right? Now, if we have a look on the basis of intraday, so for that we need a very key areas which are very good to take buy, right? And without any hustle, I can easily identify that this is a very strong resistance area, right? Lot of time this resistance area have been tested. Then I have seen a very strong candle which have given me a break above the this area, right? And this candle formation is also having a fair value gap, which is not being mitigated yet, right? And then we have a small doji candle, but it is in red, right? Because if you see the high and low prices, there is a one pipet of difference, right? That is the reason we have red candle. So the probability is there, right? But yes, if you're conservative, take a sell call up to the level of this area. And this is the area without any second thought to take a buy call for the upside. Okay. So this is my analysis for the RSI, and over here I've used the moving average band of 9, right? So prices have broken that band, right? Form small candles with exhaustions also. If this low is broken, high probability that prices will come down with very big candles, right? That means if you have taken a sell call, within 1 or 2 hours, you'll get your profit. Okay. And from this area, chances of a reversal is very high, very high, very high, right? Keeping your stop losses below the low of this candle, right? So if I take a buy call from this area, right, from this, and if I keep my stop losses this, so almost 67 pips of movement is there, and I can expect 120 pips of movement for the upside. 1:2 trade is going to be there into the charts if prices come to this level, right? And still the RSI is near at 50 levels, right? So chances of the downside movement is quite high. They have taken the liquidity. This is also called the inducement. When this candle is green, lot of people have thought that prices have taken the correction and right now they are moving upwards. And because they have seen this exhaustion also, they have capped their stop losses over here, right?
हॅलो.
So
हा बोल.
okay.
हो हो, मी सकाळी आईशी बोलतानाच ते झालं.
Okay, so this is going to be towards the sell side. So this is being done. Now I'll take the next candle. So I'll take the odd USD, right? Because we have seen a lot of good news are coming from the Australia data are very good, right? We have marked the 50 level because the trend is very strong. And see, prices on a H1 time frame, prices went down, taken the support from the 50 area, which is being acting as a strong support oversold area, and again the prices are trying to go upwards, right? To give us a divergence, we need prices to go above the high of this candle, right? Although the current candles are not that much strong, but yes, we have seen that from this candle prices have continuously pushed upwards, right? And this alligator indicator which we have drawn over here will act as a strong support area. That means high probability that if prices came down below the low of this candle, first thing, we have a divergence at a 50 level. That means we have this low, we have one more candle which breaches the low of this candle, but RSI failed to give us a low below this. Then we have a divergence. We have a strong uh, the difference between this moving averages, right? And our alligator indicator is also heading upwards, right? Apart from this, I've used the awesome oscillator indicator, right? And we have seen that the correction has been done, and right now I can see the green bars, which is an indication that the momentum for the upside is getting high, right, or getting stronger. So high probability if you find prices below the low of this candle, instead of taking a sell call, think of taking a buy call. You're getting the prices at a premium, and all the fundamental data are also very good. ATR value is also at very good levels, right? So right now, 16.16 pips is the average size of the candle, right? So if you find any candle which gives you the range more than the 16 pips, that is the candle which is being overheated. And after that, again, the candle size will become small, and then you'll have the reversal, and that is the time to take the back one. So that's all from my side, right? We'll meet again tomorrow. I hope because we don't have that much event. So that is the reason we have given too much emphasis on the technical setups and the structures, right? And we discussed that we are towards the buy side for silver, toward our biasness for gold is also towards the buy side, right? For the US oil, also we have seen that yes, the probability of a correction is quite high. Once the correction is done, think of taking a buy call. Till the time, if you're very aggressive, you can take a short-term sell call, right? But it's quite risky. Then we have discussed the US 30, right? Over here we have discussed the Tokyo or the Asian box strategy. Let the box complete. This is the eighth candle. You have to wait for the next two candles. Let the ninth candle complete. Once you have the range, the breakout of that candle will act as a very strong area, right? This is the previous day's candle, right? Due to which we have seen this selling. So the high of this candle will act as a strong resistance area. Then we discussed the BTC. On a daily time frame, we have seen the divergence and a reversal for the upside, and same is the case if prices went above without breaking the low of this candle. If prices getting a U-turn for the upside, taking a buy would be good, and this would be our target area, which is around 90128 level. Then we have discussed the Euro USD, right? So for the Euro USD, we have seen the exhaustion. We've been waiting for the prices to give us a correction because we have identified this area, which is a very strong support area, along with the fair value gap and a very good order block uh, setting over here, right? So we wait for the prices to come down and then take a buy call. So for the Euro session, we might see that prices may fall, and then in the US session, we'll see a reversal for the upside. For the Australian dollar, we have seen that all the fundamental data are very strong, right? Are all technical indicators, because we have used four indicators over here, right? We've been expecting that prices might take the low of this candle and we have a divergence. Once that divergence is done, right, given the confirmation and prices are getting a reversal for the upside, take the buy. So that's all for my side. Thank you all of you for attending this sessions. I hope that I have explained everything in a very layman language, and you'll remember everything, whatever I have concluded in past few minutes. So that's all for my side. Thank you for attending today's sessions. Tomorrow we'll meet again, and you'll get the link today itself for tomorrow's session. And we have changed the timing because most of people are busy. Uh, while traveling or commuting, right? So we have shifted timing from 10 o'clock to 11:30 according to the Dubai time. And you'll get the link of tomorrow's session today itself. Until the time, if you guys have any doubt or any query, so our chat box are open at Telegram. You can ask your questions, and you have your relationship manager. That will be the bridge which will connect you with the experts directly, including me. So that's all for my side. Have a great trading day ahead. Thank you, guys. I request all of you to kindly leave the Google Meet room, and please ask your questions if you have any doubts or queries. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for attending today's sessions.